Happy day. I would like if people would start I would really appreciate it. I should say, lovely goddesses of the Most High and gods of the Most High. If we are His children, we are definitely, we should really say that that's what it is. We are co-creators as little tiny gods in Christ, as Christ is in the Most High. I would really appreciate if you can subscribe and like the video. You don't have to watch all of the videos. It would just be an act of kindness to spread my little video. I want to take a time to express the feelings that I have here in Wisconsin. This has been the most trying experience of my life, having to deal with this place. This place is horrible. It's like hell on earth. The amount of racism, the amount of subjugation of black melanated people, really melanated, I like to say. I don't like to say black. Black means you're born dead in the Black Laws Dictionary, and I was not born dead. I'm a live entity trying to spread love all over the world. I do move by love. I know my thoughts are very direct. Could probably rub people the wrong way, a little offensive maybe, but I have been offended a lot in my life. And being that I was always quiet or humbled to not run into the drama and to not follow it up, people look at it as a sign of weakness, and I'm hardly weak. I just learned from my mother, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So if I'm sitting quietly somewhere, most likely there's something on my mind that I just don't want to express. It makes no sense. If you're who you are, then you're going to be who you're going to be. And I cannot change that, but I could always change my direction. And I like to do that a lot too. I wish I could have did it here in the Greater Lakes area, because this is not my cup of tea. I usually share knowledge. Whatever I have, it's somebody's. I always come to the table with something, so it's not like I'm taking a lot from anybody. I expressed that I wanted help, and prayers alone would do it the most for me. If prayers can go up for Maya Leonard, I would appreciate that, because that is something that I value more than anything. And I'm leaning on the Most High and nothing else, nothing other than that. Excuse me, I really can't get any kind of privacy here. Every single time somebody act like they don't care for my presence, I find some secluded spot, and then now people care. They're very nosy out here. It's newsy, like it's not even just nosy, and it bothers the shit out of me. Excuse my language. I was beaten up by 3 white male cops in my home on January 29th. They say that they had a history with me since Thanksgiving time, which is the lie. They never had a history with me. I never saw the cops except for the day they came to beat me up. A patrol came. After the patrol came, my landlord gave me a notice of eviction for not paying rent in 2 months, and that's a lie, because I was paying my rent on time. I even had rent receipts. By the time I got to eviction court, I went to show the rent receipts and stuff, and the judge offered for me to come back to bring that stuff forward so it could be acknowledged. And the lawyer for Crest Capital Management explained that he does not want to discuss damages or monies with my case, and didn't want us to come back, and wanted to sign a writ. There is a law out here in the Wisconsin Constitution that is Wolf Lily versus Kenosha County. I have not been able to read it. Every single time I keep on bringing it to everybody's attention, for some reason I get switched out of wherever I'm at, whether it was legal school in jail, or it was being in a mental ward learning law, which is not their scope of practice. When I explained that, I was sent out of there, kicked out, because I'm hardly incompetent. Um, I have faced a lot of stuff here. I have met women I would never befriend and take along with me and learn any. I don't want to learn anything from them. They glorify drugs out here. They glorify giving their body for the smallest things. And I'm not about that. If anybody thinks I loved the person, and that's why they got my body. I have been celibate for 5 years, and I like it that way. I don't have to worry about all the extra when I come as 100% me and giving everything of me that I could share with the next person that I don't need for within myself. I try my hardest to do so when I'm in a relationship, but I want to give it all to myself, because I always get the short end of the stick, because I'm not your regular drama-filled gold digger that you need to impress. I'm not impressed about a lot of things. The mental mind stimulation, that is what does it for me. Learning, being consumed with the ways of the Most High, that does it for me. You know what I'm saying? I may not look attractive on videos, but I am a very attractive woman, and everywhere I go, I get either battered down by women because of it, or ran after by lusty men because of it. And to be honest, the situation started with a lusty man constantly yelling outside of his window, a man named Jimmy. He lived 2 stories above me. I lived in a garden apartment. I did not need anybody to come in and out of my entrance, because I had my own entrance to the garden apartment. It led out from the ground floor into the apartment, and so on and so forth. I had to go into the main building for my mail, and I would not speak to anybody in and out of there. I'm very standoffish. If anybody knows me, they know that that's me. I like my space. I like my solitude. I like room to breathe and think for myself. I'm not one to run with the trends. I'm not one to try to be like anybody else. I have my own identity signature from the God, and I'm very grateful for it. And I am worthy of whatever I deem is important to me for me to have. And that's how I usually run my life. When I was younger, I was very naive, very wanting to be a part of something, and half of the time the something that I wanted to be a part of was not good for me anyway, so I had to get away from it anyway at the end of the day. So I learned my lesson. I'm 46 years old. I do not want to take anything away from anything or anyone. I want to acquire my own all the time. But anyway, I was beaten up by these cops and left homeless from February, whatever the last day. Basically, March 1st was my first day of being homeless, and to April 10th, I was giving a voucher from Section 8, because I had that at the time. I will never get it again. I don't need it. I know how to work, and I have stayed in a hotel for 6 months, paying $100 a day, and able to get enough money for a month-and-month security for an apartment before. So if I could do that, you do the math, I don't need Section 8 to help me. So I will not be going back for it. I really wish they wouldn't have hunted me down to give it to me again when I was in Illinois with my children. I should have just left off from Illinois with my children and went to where I wanted to be, and that is on the West Coast. But instead, I figured we were going to work something out and become more of a happy family, because I did it all by myself with them. My daughter says that she raised her and my son by herself. How could you do that if you never worked a day in your life until you were 18 and had to go into the Navy? It's impossible. You cannot feed yourself. You cannot clothe yourself. You cannot put a roof over your head. That's all the things that I provided for my children by myself. However she tells the story, that's her business. That's neither here nor there. She has to take it up with God, and that's how I feel about that. As for what transpired with me and the cops, it was disgusting. Being that they could not find me because I went to Illinois instead of staying into Wisconsin streets, because I feel that they traffic women and children, from the way that they dragged me out of my house without me getting Mirandas or booked and processed. It was disgusting. So I decided to stay in Illinois, far away from them, and whatever damages that they could apply upon my life ever again. I just woke up. I look horrible. So what? And I don't care. I just want to get the message out. I don't want to put on makeup or anything. I never do. So I'm not going to dress myself up for a video where I'm explaining that it's necessary for people to at least love a woman, care for a woman. You know, we go through a lot. We're mothers. We're backbones of families. We go through a lot, and what they did to me was disgusting. They locked me up April 10th to September 21st. They locked me up from April 10th to August 21st, and I had to stay in the hole for 93 days because I'm not going to stay quiet. You're my captors. Ask anybody that's ever disrespected me, do I stay quiet? No, I don't. If I cannot get away from you, I'm cursing you out, and that's me. I don't care. I was in the hole for 93 days, and they sent me to a mental institution. The women in the mental institution was just like the women in jail. They're very unresponsive. They get mad because men are looking at you and not them, and then they want to beat you up or fuck with you or belittle you, excuse my language. And it was so irrelevant, the things that I went through with these women. So I don't see any kind of resonance. It doesn't resonate with me what they go through, because it didn't resonate with them what I was going through at the time. They was adding on to the pressure that I was already feeling from the police. When they let me out, I tried to walk to a domestic violence shelter. That didn't work. I had to walk from, maybe 32 blocks to the next shelter, which is out here. They turned me away. It was late. I ended up sleeping at a bus stop. That first time in my life I had to do that, because the bus stop was across the street from the precinct. I was hoping that when the precinct opened up, I could find out where my car was so I could go back into my car. When I got to the precinct and they let me call the place that towed my car, the place that towed my car explained to me that they put my car, they crushed it into a cube. Everything that was in it was not in it. So somebody stole all the stuff that was mine, that was in my car, before they crushed it. But I really think that they took the stuff and then just said it wasn't there and crushed my car. After I was sent to a place that was similar to jail, but it was a roof over my head, food in my mouth, in my belly, and somewhere to rest my head, and gave me clothes to wear at the time, because all I had was the one outfit that I wore to court. That's all I had at the time. I'm now in a shelter that turned me away. I was put into that shelter, and I'm grateful because I have a roof over my head and food to eat and clothes on my back. But I am ready to leave here. I'm ready to get out of Wisconsin. I'm originally from New York, and we don't do things like this. And there's much more resources to handle a person with my needs. And if I could make it there once, I could make it there again. And I don't want to do this, because this is, girls are like asking me if I want to go to a strip club. I never went to a strip club before. Maybe once, but it wasn't for me, and I'm good. Otherwise than that, I've been a sinner. They took me off of my straight and narrow, walking with the God, to make me a broad in the street, thinking I was going to start begging with the rest of the women and giving up my body for them, and I'm not. I'm stuck on what I'm saying. I want to be treated like a woman, so 46 or whatever, I don't care how old I am. If you don't want to marry me, you do not need me, period. So you can walk. It is simple, and I'm not trying to be nasty with anybody. It's just I have been through so much in my life. I used to smile all the time. People used to ask me, why you smile so much? Finally, when it got to a point that I've had enough, people's like, oh, life ain't that bad, why don't you just smile? What do y'all want? What is it? What is it? People should be able to pursue their happiness without people stepping on their feet. It came to a point in my life that I figured, let me get out and get away from everybody and do me. Finally, I'm free doing me. I didn't have any kids to take care of, anything, and people want to reel me back in for me to focus on them. And they forgot that they reeled me in, stating that they were going to focus on me. So, I mean, and I'm not selfish. I'm the type of person, if I'm going to extend my hand irregardless in what situation I'm in at all times. I'm just not a selfish person. I'm not. And now I have to sit reclusive and introvert all day, and that ain't even me either. There's no joy out here for me, and the joy that is out here, it's not something I want to get into, so it's not joyous to me. So yeah, I put a thing out for help, and obviously people don't want to, or whatever. It's fine. Just pray for Maya Leonard, because God is going to make things happen. You know, I really need love. That's something I lack. I give it. I have no problem giving it. I'm a very sound mind. I'm a very empathetic and sympathetic person. I'm a Reiki master. I'm an Eastern medicine massage therapist. I give so much of myself to the body, to the mind, to the spirit. I feed your spirit if we were to sit and talk. If it's idle talk, I don't want to talk. I don't have the time for it, because it's not in me to want that kind of relationship. So I want a higher relationship, of a higher perspective, a spiritual bond, a connection that could stand the test of time. It keeps on going. It's spirit. We are spirit individuals having a human experience. I do not want to get stuck in the materialistic of everything. When I was in jail, I thought I lost everything. So I went to a thought process of, dang, I worked in vain. Do you know how that made me feel? Like, to know that everything that you ever worked for is gone within your heart, within your soul, and you're 46, and now you have to start all over from after putting in so much work, where you could have sat off and been like, oh yeah, I want to be the drug dealer, or the gold digger. You know, when the guys were flashing their money in front of me, trying to entice me, and I would always be like, no, I could get my own money. What's your money? What's what in your pocket have to do with me? I used to always say that, and I would never not say that still, because they're entitled to what they worked hard for. You don't have to dangle it in front of me to like you. Just be you, and that should determine whether I like you or not. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Like, I talk with authority. It could rub people the wrong way because they overestimate themselves and underestimate me. And that's fine, because I'm not going to do that to myself. If I don't have any kind of expectations, I don't get disappointed. I'm not going to disappoint myself, because what I set out for in a goal, I'm going to try to reach that goal at all points and all times. So I'm going to ask again. If any of you can help me get out of Wisconsin and get away from this situation so I could get myself back on my feet the proper way, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it. But please pray for me and not pray on me. You know, because I have never done anything wrong to anybody a day in my life. I have never stepped on anybody's toes. Even if it seems I did, I tried to get away from the situation before it just kept on dragging itself back into my life and trying to press upon me that it wanted to be with me. And after a while, when your heart gets into it, there's nothing you could do about it. It's just a done deal. But now my heart is free. From now on, I'm not going to try to store up stuff. You know, I want to work for my fruits of my labor and enjoy it while I'm here on the earth. Because while I was sitting in jail, I realized that I can't take none of that with me. And that's what gave me solace for everything that I thought I lost. You know what I'm saying? But once I get on again, I'm going to work. I work hard anyway. You know what I'm saying? Before they came and swooped me up, most likely the guy was mad because I was making money, bringing bags in every time I got paid of the things that I needed and stayed to myself and didn't go to his house begging him or asking him. I bought him a quinoa salad to ask him to please stop calling the landlord on me for no reason. Like, he's been targeting me since I got in the apartment when he should have just left me alone. He's obviously was hot and bothered in his pants. I didn't harass him. Somebody was coming into my house a month in. After that first month, somebody started coming into my house, touching my stuff. I was noticing that, but it's when a biscuit was eaten from off of my table, I had enough. You don't come into somebody's house Goldilocks and start touching their stuff and eating their stuff and using their stuff while they're not there, excuse me, because you know their regimen. I would go out from 5:30 in the morning to 11. I would come back in, have a rest, sing on my microphone a little bit, play with my cat, and then not my cat, below my actual cat, Don Nicodemus DeMarco, which they gave me a paper in jail to euthanize him, which I did not. Somebody has him in his house. Please take care of my baby. He's so cute, and he loves singing and dancing, and you tell him, give me kiss, he give you kiss. You call his name Nicodemus, he'll come running. You tell him, go away, I had enough of you, he'll go away. He's a very obedient cat. He doesn't like to get on the beds or anything like that. He doesn't do all that. He's very well trained and well mannered. But anyway, I'll get me another one, you know, as long as he has a house and he's not out on the street or he's not dead. I was very grateful. I had a terrible dream that some lion and him went through a battle and the lion nipped him and he died, and that just hurt me in jail while I was going through my 4 months of torment with these people. But every single time I spoke truth, I was kicked out of one place and sent to another place with these people. I'm so tired. Now I have to be flanked by females that swear they don't like me, but they'll find their way around me and start lollygagging and laughing. Laugh at yourselves. You know what I'm saying? It gets annoying at this point, the amount of childishness that dwells in one state. And I'm grown and sexy, and I don't have time to even try to be sexy here because it doesn't do it for me, so I'm not doing it for it. And it's not even about the men, it's not about the girls. When I walk outside and I have a beautiful outfit on that may look sexy to somebody or some people, it's because I felt that way when I put them clothes on, and I loved what I looked like when I looked out in the mirror. You know, I still love what I look like when I look in the mirror, but I want to keep myself closed off and secluded. So that's what I dress like out here. After what the cops did to me, had me with my vagina hanging out, my butt hanging out, only a shirt on, no bra, no pants, no nothing, in the streets of parading me around like I got another one, you know, and told me I couldn't take my bag, I couldn't get clothes on. They didn't let me lock my door. Then I get to court, and then they said that the reason why they say I assault cops is because while they were tackling me to the floor, I headbutted a cop in his nose and punched another one in the cheek while they were tackling me to the floor with the back of my head. I headbutted this cop. So if you're in back of me and you're tackling me to the floor. Our bodies are limber. And they said they gave me no consent to do that to them. They gave me blunt force trauma to the right side of my head, the whole right side of my head. They gave me blunt force trauma to the left side of my chest and the left side of my abdomen. I have a problem peeing and using other forms of bathroom and relieving gas out of myself now because of what they did to me. And I did not give them consent to do that to me. Internal affairs, and as I sat in court, this court reporter came in, a new DA came in. I linked to my and we were being weighed by the Commissioner Wilkes, not Judge Milisauskis, which is usually on the case. So I leaned into my lawyer and I said, can somebody come in my stead, because this is so bogus, these charges against me, why am I here? So now I have to go to trial, and I'm a Moor. I need to get out of here so I can give these people back their license and everything, because I have things to be done out there that I can do to get away from this criminal activity of this judicial system and law enforcement system. And I'm begging somebody to please be kind enough to me, a woman, flesh and blood entity, walking this earth that is my inheritance from the Most High. I'm asking for somebody to help me get away from this tyrant that lives and dwells here under the guise of the devil in Wisconsin. This is devil activity all the way around. And they are parading in it and having fun in it. They might as well all get together and have an orgy and leave me out of it. Don't even invite me. I'm not invitable. And I really want to get out of here. So I'm free for the time being. I do not want to be locked up by these people. They're trying to say that I have anywhere from 6 to 20 years to serve in prison for getting beaten up by 3 white male cops. The investigation that the Internal Affairs did without body cam footage being looked at, they're trying to say it was regulation what they did to me, and it's okay, and close the case on my complaint I left in the police station after the fact, when I was homeless before I got locked up for 4 months. So due to this, and they are just contriving and contorting and fixing to where I could have nothing and have to beg them to do whatever they feel like doing to me, just as long as you throw me a crumb. I'm not trying to hear that. I do have things going on. I do have things lined up, and I hope it works for me. And if it works for me, I'm going to take care of it myself. I will get myself out of here. But I'm just really asking for prayers, at least. Pray for Maya Leonard. Remember my name. I don't know what they have in store for me, and I don't really care at this point, because I get eternal life with the Most High for all the things I put into work and put into fruition and put into other people's hearts and put up into other people's minds and gave of myself to other people and allowed people to be freely themselves around me. I believe I know I have eternal life with the Most High. So if they feel like getting their hoods on and coming and parading to hang me from a tree or shoot me in the back of my head, oh well. I really don't care at this point, because I have seen such behavior I'm not even interested in. I have seen certain people, I extend my hand to them, and then I got to check my fingers just to make sure that they still exist on my hand after it's done. This is the worst viper's nest I have ever had to sit in all my life, and I always thought New York was bad and stuff like that. No, it's not. I want to go back home so I can start all over again. At least they keep it real. These people will smile in your face while they're sharpening a knife in front of you and wait for you to turn your back and stab you with it. This is what I have to deal with out here. From the cops, to the judge, to the females, to the men. These men are funny. They try to wave cigarettes in front of your face and think that you're going to go and give your whole life up for the shit and stuff, and how they want to be with you, and you're telling them you're celibate, and then they still tell you what they want from you, like they are oblivious to what's coming out of your mouth because they're too busy looking at your physique or whatever. I don't know, but all I know is it's annoying and I hate it here. And look at me, I'm saying hate. I usually say dislike. I don't like it here, and that's how I'm gonna keep it. And grace and peace, light and love. And I thank you for listening. If you got this far, have a good day.